Welcome everyone to Two for the Show, episode 2. We are your host, Derek Dimes, and obviously my boy Bryce. We're so excited to be back with you guys. A little bit of hiatus here. Crazy in the sports world right now. Tons of things going on, guys. Bryce, anything you want to say to the folks to get this show kicked off and ready to go?
Nothing other than I'm happy to be back for episode 2, man. I'm pumped up for tonight, ready to talk about these things, and really just give some people some content.
Yes, absolutely. With the layoff from sports, obviously, this is a phenomenal time for us to bring you guys some new content and some great information, and just keep it real and keep it fun like we do here at Ghost Picks ATS, guys. So obviously, with everything going on with the coronavirus, sports has been shut down, and I tell you what, I am going insane. I don't know about you, Bryce, but I am struggling in a big way, brother.
I did not. I knew sports was a big part of my life, but I had no idea how much of a part it was because I am struggling to make it through every single day. Every day lasts like 47 hours for me.
Yeah, it's wild. It's
Crazy.
wild. I felt like days went so much faster when we had sports to watch and things that we were monitoring and algorithms we were running and stuff like that. But now it's like, man, I said to my fiance, actually, hopefully she doesn't kill me. I said, so this is what it feels like to be a woman who doesn't care about sports, because she doesn't care about sports. She could be on her phone literally the whole time looking at a Kim Kardashian or watching a makeup blog, and she could care less. And I'm like, man, this sucks. Like,
what a terrible life to live.
Oh, man. Love her to death. To each his own, obviously. But moving into that, guys, so with all the time on our hands, I guess it's given me a little bit of time to watch some things I typically wouldn't have time to watch. Some new shows and new movies. Anything that you got on your radar right now that you've been watching, Bryce?
I started watching Better Call Saul. I think we're on season 3 by now.
Nice.
Started a little slow, much like Breaking Bad did.
Right.
Started slow, but I gave it some chance, and I actually really enjoyed it slow. It's just like Breaking Bad, where there's a lot of character development over the course of time. So if you're into that kind of show,
Right.
most people's probably already seen it. I'm probably on the tail end of it, but we'll probably finish it up in a couple weeks, I would imagine. So might be looking for a new show.
Now, that's actually a show that I didn't watch. I never gave it a chance, but maybe I will with your recommendation. Absolutely loved Breaking Bad. And binge watched that to catch up to speed when they had the live shows. So I was able to watch along with everybody else. I didn't want to get left out. But for me, we've been watching a little bit of everything. We just recently watched The Tiger King. If you haven't watched it, watch it on Netflix. Absolutely crazy.
Was it crazy?
It's crazy. You have to. I'm like telling everybody, like, you got to watch it. It's nothing like I expected whatsoever. Joe Exotic is the GOAT. This dude is crazy. He's crazy, man. Playing with these tigers, breeding these tigers, selling them. It's like it's everything you would expect in like a crazy show. Sex, murder, and mayhem. It's just insane. You got to check it out. It's only a limited series, so there's only like seven episodes, I think, and they're only like 40 minutes. So yeah, we straight up Saturday, just pajama day, bro. Drinking wine, drinking a little bit of Crown Royal, and we binge watched it straight through. Not by plan, it just happened. But yeah, I loved it.
You guys have Boone's Farm wine up there in Yankee country? You guys know what that is?
Come on. Don't disrespect us like that. Boone's Farm's like what you drink when you first start drinking. It's like, it's not even wine, bro. That's like juice. It's such a disrespect. Don't disrespect us like that, Bryce.
I just didn't know what you Yankees did up there,
No, now we're Yankees. Come on, man.
No, we watched the
Panthers fan. I'm not going to get him riled up. Guys, I would just say that we had a conversation about the Panthers before, and this guy went on a tangent here. I'm talking 10, 15 minutes. He couldn't talk anymore. We were supposed to do a podcast. He got too rattled, couldn't do the podcast, got all worked up. Face started getting red. It was crazy. It was crazy. But yes, it was a great show. We watched that. We're also watching The Stranger, which is pretty decent. It's pretty crazy. I'm in the middle of that, so I'm really not sure what's going on. It's only one season. But yeah, a little bit of TV, guys, a little bit of recommendations. But we're going to slide into NFL now and get back into what we love, and that is sports. NFL free agency, a ton of moves going on, Bryce. What do you have? What have you liked? What have you hated? What do you got for me?
I'm going to start it off by deferring it straight to you. What is O'Brien doing in Houston, man? What is he doing in Houston? Houston, we've got a problem.
Huge problem.
Right?
A huge problem. I just, in my opinion, this is one of the worst hack jobs I've seen in a while. He's had now the past 2 years his best defensive player in Jadeveon Clowney and his best, well, maybe you could argue second best weapon besides Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins. Both of these players traded, and he doesn't even receive a single first round pick for them. That's laughable. That is laughable at best. How does Arizona? This is a steal. To me, this is a steal for Arizona Cardinals. You got a great quarterback in Kyler Murray. They already have Christian Kirk. You get rid of David Johnson's horrible contract, who got benched last year for Kenyon Drake, who they franchise tagged. So you get him out. He wasn't even starting, and he goes to the Texans, who now try again with another running back. Oh, yeah, remember Duke Johnson? Oh, yeah, remember Lamar Miller? Oh, yeah, remember Carlos Hyde? None of which worked out. And now you have another one, but this one's just a lot more expensive. Just a horrible job. I don't care about what the rumors were, what happened between them, whatever the case may be. You didn't want to pay him, whatever the case is. You got to get more value back than that. That's just a horrible job, in my opinion.
Terrible deal. Extremely laughable. You know what also is laughable? The Panthers getting a 5th-round pick for Kyle Allen and then releasing Cam Newton and getting nothing for him. That's laughable to me.
And it's
you get a 5th-rounder for Kyle Allen and you can't get anything from Cameron Jarrell Newton. Come on, man.
Without the middle name there, the full government. That's a fan who's worked up right there, ladies and gentlemen. Pulls out the full government. I don't know if you guys know. In my culture, you don't pull out the government. It's like it's a big thing here. All right.
You know, I was literally today years old. Okay, not today years old, but a couple weeks ago, the first time I ever heard somebody use the word government when talking about a name. I had no idea what that was.
That's how we roll up here, man. And I'm not even a city slicker. I was born in the country. I'm a country boy at heart, but I've been in the mix. I know I've been around, and yeah, we don't use people's government out here. You know what I mean? That's just not what we do where I'm from. But yeah, that was definitely a hack job as well. I agree with you there. If you know that you want to get a quarterback, you want to sign Teddy Two Gloves, so be it. But you move Cam Newton first, you get some value back first before you pull the trigger. And that was just completely a complete hack job on the part of the Carolina Panthers, man. Just a very poor job. I will say that I am pleased with what my Eagles did. So I try to tell him he's looking for a team. We got room on the bandwagon. It is in the back. You can't sit up front, but you can get on the back and sit. You'll get a seat in the back by the window, and you can ride with us. All right. We did get Darius Slay. I thought that was a great pickup. We pick up the great tackle, the D tackle from the Steelers. We only lost a 3rd and a 5th. We still got 10 picks available, and I'm excited. I'm excited. Or 8, I believe. Eight picks we lost to, but still a handful of picks.
And you should be excited because you're still in the NFC East. Why wouldn't you be excited? You're in the NFC East.
Oh my gosh. Look, we play a little defense over here. I don't know about that NFC South where you got to score 40. Final scores are 48-45 over there. Anybody can play in that division. What the heck is going on over there? Luckily, you got Tom Brady, so you bring a little flash, a little pizzazz over there because Drew Brees was pulling the weight for a long time there in that division. Cam Newton couldn't stay on the field to save his life as is. No wonder the Panthers cut him. I ain't going to get you riled up because I knew that was a soft spot there. I had to kick you when you were down.
That wasn't even a body blow. That was just straight. That was almost a curb stomp. Like, why are you going to do me like that?
I had to kick you when you were down, man.
Oh.
How you feel about the Robbie Anderson deal for you guys? You hate it? You love it?
I mean, it's another Matt Rule guy. You know, it's one of his guys. You know, so
it is one of his guys.
You have to give him a chance. I'm still an NFL fan, free agent. I'm still feeling, you know, seeing who's making what moves. I may end up being a Panthers fan again. Who knows? Right now, I'm off the bandwagon.
Well,
the Dolphins are looking pretty good. They're looking better and better each day.
No, they're trying to pull like what the Eagles did a few years ago when we signed all those superstar players, and you try to patch in random guys and make a team. You got to draft, man. They'll be better. Yeah, they'll be better than they were last year, but they're not going to be any good. I like Seattle picking up Philip Dorsett today on a 1-year deal, get my boy Hustle Russell a little bit of help. He's not a stud, but it definitely helps the wide receiver depth there. And the Saints are quietly having a nice offseason as well, man. I don't know about Malcolm Jenkins, 4 years, 32. We weren't paying him. I'm finally glad that they're deciding to get rid of older players and get some young legs in here because hey, man, it's about freaking time. This is a young man's league. You got to stay young.
It is.
And you gotta keep recycling players to stay relevant.
My question to you: are the Eagles going to put some receivers on the field that can catch the football because they're making Carson Wentz look terrible? And I'm tired of defending a guy who plays for a team that I don't even like. Carson Wentz is not as bad as people think he is.
Oh my gosh!
Am I wrong or am I wrong?
You talk about going on a tangent. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I don't know how. I could show you my phone. Extensive conversations with Jimmy. He hated the guy. Carson Wentz sucks, but I'm like, dude, these receivers, like, I could go to my high school team and pick two guys off that team, and they're going to catch more balls than these guys. We had straight practice players in there, and a guy threw for 4,000 yards with Alshon Jeffrey in the locker room, bashing him, not supporting him to the team, not being a leader in the right way. And literally trying to tear down this man's confidence. Has he had problems with injuries? Yeah, sure, he has. Have we done a good job protecting him? No, we have not. We had a 1,000-year-old Jason Peters out there on the left side, literally like throwing out a freaking matador out there at him and not protecting him and not helping him. You got to give him something. I know this is a big draft spot here. I'm expecting no less than 2 wide receivers in this draft. This is a great wide receiver draft and a lot of talent that I think we can get up. I'm really hoping for Jefferson from LSU to fall to the Eagles and maybe one of the other guys. But, yeah, they got to put some talent around him outside of Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert. Why we drafted 2 tight ends, Lord only knows. But here we are. So I don't know. We got to give the guy help. I love Carson Wentz personally. I think he has the tools. I think he has the it. But we'll see, man. He's got to stay on the field, really.
I don't disagree. I like Wentz. Speaking of free agents and everything, a team that I think is flying under the radar right now is the Chargers. I love what the Chargers have been doing. Can Tyrod, because they're saying they're going to stick with Tyrod, can Tyrod lead this team to a deep run, maybe even push into the playoffs and make a run? Because they have the pieces around him. That defense is no joke.
Oh, yeah. They're going to be much better now that they got what's his name back?
Their safety. Derwin James.
Yes, yeah. Derwin James. Yes. Now that Derwin's back, that really solidifies the back end. We know that front seven has been terrific year after year after year. And really, the offensive side of the ball is just, can you protect? Their pass protection was horrific last year. Their offensive line was one of the worst in the league. So yes, Phillip Rivers wasn't good, and he turned the ball over a decent bit, but the line didn't do them any justice as well. But I'm just not sure. We know what Tyrod is, man. You could dazzle up a peanut butter and jelly sandwich any way you want. As the peanut butter and jelly, it's a peanut butter and jelly, bro. And that is Tyrod Taylor. He's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, my man. He ain't nothing fancy.
Well, sometimes when you're real hungry, ain't nothing better than a peanut butter and jelly. I'm just saying, they could do a lot worse than Tyrod Taylor.
I guess. But look, if you're expecting to make a deep, pull out the air quotes, a deep playoff run, no. Wild card, possibly, yes. But he's not going to win you a game, man. And so essentially you're saying then if you're going to put it in the hands of the rush game, then you're going to run the ball and he's going to only throw the ball 25, 30 times max is what you're saying, and you're going to rely on your defense in your run game, then I'm not so sure that you should have signed Austin Eckler to that deal, or unless you're going to draft another back, which I'm assuming that they possibly could here in the later rounds, because he catches a lot of balls, but he's not an every down. He's not going to pound it.
No, and I think a great fit for the Chargers, maybe in like a 3rd, 4th round running back, Dylan from Boston College. He fits that mold. He's a bigger back, can run the ball, has a nose for the end zone, can catch it. I think that would be a perfect fit for the Chargers, paired right along with Austin Eckler. I don't know. I'm not a GM, but I think that's a great fit for him.
I love Dylan, man. You talk about a bruiser. That is a guy you do not want to tackle come the 4th quarter, man. He just pounds it, man. Pounds away. Yeah, Boston College. He's 4-year guy, isn't he? 4-year guy there. Tremendous back. Had a great college career. But, yeah, I think that would actually be a great fit. That's a nice call there. But yeah. I'm just not sold on Tyrod. I think they're going to draft another quarterback. I think they'd be silly not to in that position, whether it be Herbert or Tua. What are your thoughts with Tua? You really think he's healed? He showed a video today of him throwing the ball, a nice little deep ball, but I'm not sure. There's no physicals now with Corona and everything going on, so they haven't really been able to see some of these guys. So you're really relying on tape here for some of these guys that you're going to be drafting. Oh, snap.
I don't know what happened. I think somebody tried to call me. I'm going to put this on Do Not Disturb, which I thought it was on. Let's keep rolling right along. Tua, is he healthy? To be determined. Nobody's really going to know, and I think that's a very big problem moving into this draft, given everything that we're dealing with the coronavirus and everything. Is somebody going to take that risk? Like, have they done that due diligence? I don't know. I personally think that there could be several quarterbacks slide in this draft. I don't think a lot of teams really are going to go get a quarterback. You got some guys, you got veteran guys out there that nobody's even picking up the phone to call right now. So I think this is a very deep draft across the board through multiple positions. I don't know. There's good quarterbacks in this draft, but I don't think they're all going to go in the top 25.
Oh, I disagree. I disagree because I think that that's just what they do. Should they? No. Will they? Yes. Like this is like no different than years past where we're like, who? You know what I mean? We're like, who are these guys? Like, this is the same. We got to think about, remember when Chicago got Mitch Trubisky? We were like, this is horrible. We knew Mitch wasn't what they thought he was. I don't think Mitch is bad. No, I think Mitch is all right. I think he's an NFL starter. I think he can start in this league and keep his job for quite some time. But was he worthy of a number 2 overall pick? You've got to be joking me. Absolutely not. There was tons of talent on the board that come on, man. Number 2, Mitch Trubisky. Like you are surely going to justify that pick. Like, there's no way you see Joe Burrow's definitely going to go at least 1, or if he doesn't go 1, he's going 2. 2, I think, is the biggest question. I believe Herbert and Jordan Love. I think all of those guys are going top 15. I do, just because at the end of the day, you want a quarterback and you don't want to have to pay one. Even if it is Jameis. Jameis wants to get paid some, even for his 8 million interceptions. I don't know where Jameis is going. He's going to have to be a backup. Cam might have to be a backup too. I know you don't want to hear that, but it's the truth.
You know what?
It's the truth.
I will take that. I will say 4 quarterbacks do not go in the top 15.
No, you said 25.
Well, you said 15.
Let me get top 20 then.
All right, top 20. I don't think 4 quarterbacks will go in the top 20.
Are we going to wager this?
I mean,
we're dying to bet. We're dying to bet. We'll talk about it all fair.
We'll talk about it all fair. Top 20. We'll work up something.
We'll draw something up. I'll let you guys know when I win. Just know. All right. But yeah. So draft stock, Tua is a guy that I think is going to end up falling. He could go low. I mean, the talent, we know the talent, but I think you have to be worried with the amount of injuries that he's had in college. Every single year he's been injured. So it has to draw up a red flag. He's obviously somebody that I see that should, before the injury, you would have considered a top. Obviously, you could argue over Joe Burrow being the best overall quarterback in this draft, but he's someone I think is going to end up slipping down a little bit lower because no one can really evaluate him unless someone's going to take a chance on him, which I wouldn't throw it past Miami. If they get the opportunity, they're Miami. They'll do the unexpected.
You're probably right. But, hats off to all the medical experts nowadays. I mean, Tua suffered the same injury that Bo Jackson did at the end of his career. And now you're talking about Tua still might be a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
So what an advancement we've come to, Bo Jackson gone too early.
Oh my gosh, let's not get started on Bo.
Let's not get started on that. But that's just, advancing in modern medicine. Hats off to all those guys. Who is a guy that you think is probably going to start climbing up draft boards? Draft's coming around. Who do you think? I got a guy that I think probably is going to start creeping up.
Who you got?
I'm going to stick with the running back, man. I think A.J. Dillon. I think he's probably projected to go in like the middle to 4th round. I could see him going as high as the 3rd round. I think he's that good of a running back. I think people are sleeping on him. Multiple year starter. I love the guy. I think he's a great fit for the Chargers. He could be a good fit for multiple teams that wants a back that can tote the rock.
Yeah, I like him. He's a guy I like. Another one that I like who definitely did himself a favor going to the NFL Combine. Mekhi Becton. Becton. I can't say it. How you say it? Becton. I don't know. This dude from Louisville is a freak. You talk about country fed, country bonking, big ox. This dude is 6'7", 369.
Is that a big boy?
He's got a little bit of meat on the bones, but he can move, man. He runs a 5'1" 40. Are you joking me? You talk about explosion, man. That's a wall. You put him on the left side and you don't worry about it. You go in that pocket and you take a nap. This guy did himself. He's got to be the first lineman off the board. He has to be, in my opinion, man. The athleticism, and he's still raw. You can see there's still little nuances in his game, his hitch kick and all that stuff. He moves well, but he's very, very raw. He's technically flawed for sure, but that potential has to be through the roof. If you're someone who's looking for a lineman, I don't see how you don't grab this guy. To me, he's the top 5 pick. You think about some of these guys that are generational tackles, Orlando Paces, even Peters with him now retiring. Guys that are staples to protect that left side are hard to come by, man. So if you see a guy like this that you can put there and you put him on your line and he can be there for the next 15 years, you absolutely grab him. He's someone I think is going to shoot up the board. In some of the mock drafts, I saw him as low as like 12 to 15. Now I'm seeing him as high as 8 or 7.
Yeah, for sure. He's climbing up for sure. I think Wirfs from Iowa is the best offensive lineman in the draft, but
yes.
That boy from Louisville, he's a big old boy.
Yeah. He's a freak. I like Wirfs. Like, as far as now, technically sound, he's much better technically sound. He's also massive, 6'5", 322.
Right.
But I just think the raw, that you know what the NFL loves. What do they love? Measurables. They love, they love the size. You see quarterbacks, they talk about the arm, the size, the hands. Now all of a sudden, Joe Burrow's not good because his hands aren't big enough. It's like this dude threw for like 60 touchdowns accounted for or something crazy, and now his hands are too small. You can throw a football or you can't, man. Film doesn't lie. But when you see someone as athletic as Mekhi, you got to at least look twice, and I think it's going to be worth the look. Obviously, like you said, Wirfs definitely more seasoned, more technically sound, and more ready to get right in there. But Mekhi, man, it's a hard guy to pass up there on the offensive side.
I believe they say you can't teach 6'7", 365.
Absolutely not, my friend. Moving forward, I don't think we have anything else on the NFL front. You have anything else you wanted to mention or get at? Any big trades? Anything that we missed here that you would like to address?
No, I think we touched bases on everything. I'm still liking what the Chargers are doing. I'm going to keep a close eye on them throughout the rest of the entire offseason, especially in the draft. I think that's a sleeper team this year.
I tell you what, they've lost a lot of games at the very, very end. What was it? How many games they lose that were within like 3 or less? And then they had at least 3 games they lost like on the 1-yard line. It was ridiculous.
They lost to the Tennessee Titans 5 times in the same game for the 1 yard.
I remember that. That was ridiculous.
But that's a great point. A lot of times law of averages, everything evens out. So if you take a team, talking about future bet standpoints, if you take a team that had 5 or 6 losses by a single possession the year before, law of averages said they're going to win half of those games, if not more, the next season, because it's going to even out. That's another reason why I like the Chargers. I'm keeping a very close eye on this Chargers team. I will probably be dialing up a futures bet for them once the season progresses, once all the offseason and everything comes about. But I'm going to be watching them very closely.
Yeah, for sure. Wait, one last thing about the NFL free agency. How do you feel about the Broncos getting Melvin Gordon? Does it help? Does it hurt? Did they need him? Did they not?
I don't think they needed him. I think I think they had a good thing going with the guys that they had. Philip Lindsay is capable of touching the ball 20 times a game, and who is the other back? Is it Booker?
Yeah, I can't remember his name. I think it is Booker. But yeah, I thought they had a nice 1-2 punch. I didn't think it was necessary for them to bring in Melvin Gordon, considering they had a lot of other holes to fill. They need obviously wide receivers. They need to replace some of those guys on the defensive end. Chris Harris took an exit there as well.
Big loss.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
a
big
huge.
loss.
It's a huge loss. Chris Harris was a great signing by your Chargers, right? Your Chargers, another great sign by them. I was a little surprised by the signing, honestly, but good for Melvin Gordon. He got a little bit of change. If he stayed in the Chargers and took the initial deal, would have been very similar to the deal he got in Denver. And I think it would have been a much better situation. But fumble troubles for Melvin. If he cleans it up, it's a good pickup. As of now, I am not looking at this as a pickup that I would have made personally.
Yeah, Melvin needs to pick up the phone and call Tiki Barber. And whatever fixed Tiki Barber's fumbleitis back in the day.
You don't remember that? Tiki went like this, bro. He started carrying it like this.
I know. That's
It
why I
was
said
like
that.
It was crazy. I
He
remember
fumbled
that.
the football more than anybody I've ever seen, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. So Melvin, if you're listening, pick up the phone and call Tiki Barber. He can help you with your fumbleitis.
Tiki Barber. Oh my gosh. Moving forward, sticking with the theme of NFL draft, we're going to roll into the NBA draft here. And we're going to talk about who we think will be the top pick. So obviously, NBA season possibly postponed to who knows what. We've seen July possibly now, and a lot of different things there. But we'll dabble into the NBA draft here and see who Bryce likes as his number one pick. I think I know who I like as who I think will be and should be the number one pick. But let's pick Bryce's brain. Bryce, give us what you got.
I think it should be James Wiseman. I mean, we were just talking a while ago, and I think that's your guy. That's my guy. I think James Wiseman should be number one. We could see Anthony Edwards go number one, but I think it's a sure thing that one of those two guys is going to go number one overall.
I agree with that. Wiseman is just what Golden State is doing should be illegal. I would just start there with the amount of guys they got. He had the ACL with Clay, and Steph has the hand injury or thumb injury, whatever it was, and you're going to get the two best shooters in NBA history back healthy next year with Draymond Green, who I still consider to be an elite defender and a pivotal part of this Golden State team. You have Andrew Wiggins. Whether they trade him or keep him, I'm not sure. And I am 100% assuming that they're going to pick James Wiseman, a 7-footer who can dribble, he can shoot threes, he makes free throws at a very high rate, left hand, right hand, dribble it, jump hook, whatever you want, he can give it to you. I'm fully expecting him to be the number one overall draft pick, if not Anthony Edwards as well. I'm sure clients saw me jumping all over him this year with Georgia. You saw him mature as the year went on. I love Crean. Crean has had success developing NBA players. He helped develop Dwayne Wade and Victor Oladipo. So I think he's done a great job with Anthony Edwards as well. Anyone else that you would even consider? What about your top three? Give me your 1, 2, 3 rundown here. Top three picks in the draft.
Wiseman, Edwards, and Obi Toppin. I think I love Obi Toppin. I've seen him as low as 11th, 12th overall, and I think that's just so wrong. I think he would be a perfect fit for the Atlanta Hawks with the young team that they have building. They've got DeAndre Hunter. They would have Toppin. They've got obviously Trae Young. I think Toppin would actually be a very good fit for that team because I don't see any other. Assuming they have a top 4 or 5 pick, I don't see any other guys in that range that fits into their system what they're looking for right now. I think Toppin would be a good fit for the Hawks. I think Cole Anthony would be a great fit for New York. I know we were just talking about that a while ago.
So. Yeah, I love that fit for the Knicks. I hope he goes there. I think it'd be a tremendous fit with a shoot first point guard who can still drop some dimes there as well. You got a nice young core there. I wish that they would get it right in New York, man. They can't even keep Spike Lee on their side. And guy's been a fan for 30, 40 years, man. He spent hundreds of thousands of dollars there. And now they're trying to kick Spike Lee out the stadium, man. What are the Knicks doing?
He used the wrong door.
Come on.
Hey, bro.
Oh, the Knicks dry. I can't imagine being in there. I'm a Sixers fan. It's bad. The Knicks got to be way worse, bro.
I haven't actively kept up with the Knicks since Allen Houston and Latrell Sprewell.
A long time ago, man. But they have a nice young core, man. I really like the young core they have. I wish they would just honor it. and let those kids play and mature and grow, and maybe bring in one or two veterans who aren't going to steal all the minutes. They brought in the Morris twin, and a guy's playing 40 minutes, and you got other young players on the bench. They weren't even playing Mitchell Robinson, who had a phenomenal year last year. Alonzo Trier. They got some nice young pieces, and R.J. Barrett. You draft him, which I thought was a nice piece as well, but you got to let him get shots, man.
They wouldn't even unleash R.J. Barrett. Like, I think the one game that I actually watched him and he actually played, dude dropped 27 points. I mean,
dude, they don't give him the ball. They do not give him the ball. He was my dog pick. I had a future bet with him at plus 450 for Rookie of the Year. I figured that Zion would be Zion and get hurt. It would be either him or Ja Morant. But in New York, I assumed that they would make it roles clear, but silly me thinking that New York would have some type of structure. But yeah, I mean, Dennis Smith Jr. signing was bad. The freaking they picked up, what's his name? The Randall signing was bad. You know what I mean? Like, bad contracts, just guys that are soaking up minutes and taking up cap, and the young guys are not growing. But I think that would be a great fit there. For me, a top three, I agree with your first two. I'm going Wiseman. I'm going Edwards. Number three, I'm going to get flack for it. I don't care. I think this kid's for real. I'm going LaMelo Ball. Playing over there in New Zealand, Australia. He's playing with grown men, and he is absolutely delivering. He's grown now. He's about 6'7". He is still a little frail, but he's easily a better shooter than Lonzo, which may not be hard to do. He was shooting it better there after the All-Star break, but this kid could really shoot it. Great vision, can rebound it. I really like him to be a staple on any team, really. I think he has potential to be a number one overall pick, but although Wiseman may be the lock-in, I think. But I don't see LaMelo Ball falling outside of top five for sure, but I think he could easily land in that number three spot.
For sure. I don't disagree. I mean, I like Toppin a little bit better, but Melo is right there. I think Edwards, Wiseman, Toppin, Ball, and Cole Anthony. I think that's my surefire top five.
Right. Okuru, I think, is just on the fringe where he may sneak in. It depends how he works out. I loved Isaac Okuru this year from Auburn, freshman player, 6'6", 225, small forward, played really well for them, led them in scoring, and they really struggled when the game or two that he missed. They were not the same Auburn team. But this kid can really play, and I think there's a chance that, I mean, physically, if you look at him and Anthony Edwards and Wiseman are like, they're physically NBA ready. You know, those guys they look like men already, although they're very young. So maybe he sneaks in, but ultimately, I like what we have there with our top three, possible top five. Moving forward here with the NBA, talks of a 16 seed playoff. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that they would be surefire to have the top 16 teams in the playoffs. All I have to say to that is the East better step it up, because you might not get but a couple teams in there.
This is true. I never really thought about that actually either.
Real talk. I mean, the East, you better step it up, because this year's different. I mean, the East is trending upward, but I mean, you talk about on a bad year for the East, right, they realistically could get like 4 out of 16 teams in the playoffs.
Yeah. So right now, what we have, I just pulled the standings up real quick. So the lowest seed in the East is the Magic. They would have been the 8th seed. They are tied with Brooklyn at 30 and 34. Magic's 30 and 35. They're 8 seeds in the East. In the West, 32 and 33. Memphis is the 8th seed currently. But we had a lot of teams that were streaking. The Pelicans were playing better. The Blazers were playing a little better. The Kings were playing better. But they all were 28, 29 win teams. So I think that really, if this is the most competitive the NBA has been in a long time. So I think that this will be the perfect time to throw in a 16-team playoff.
Hey, I don't disagree. I think there's a lot of parity throughout the league. Yep. With Durant getting traded, injured, Clay getting injured, Steph getting injured, basically the Warriors dynasty falling apart the way it did. I think there's a lot of parity in the league, even with Milwaukee winning 53 games.
Right.
It's not a surefire thing that they're going to win it all.
No, for sure not. I mean, if you asked anyone who you thought would win, I mean, we talked about in episode 1, we both were pretty much like LA and LA. One of those teams are going to win it. Well, the beauty of a 16 seed playoff is then everyone's just seeded top to bottom, best to worst. And you possibly get these two teams on opposite sides here, and we could possibly have an LA versus LA final. How great would that be? Something that we've never seen before. Two
It'd be
teams from
crazy.
two teams from the same conference in the NBA playoffs or NBA finals, I think would be awesome. Obviously, the issue would be travel. With some of the West Coast teams being linked up against some of the East Coast teams, traveling would be bad. But I think that they could work it out as far as maybe spread the games out a little bit or give an extra day of travel. But most of these guys are accustomed to playing 3 games in 4 days anyway, so I can't see that it would be that huge of a deal.
No, I think if you went that route, you would obviously have to abolish the way the scheduling is done for the regular season to make it more fair throughout. But as it stood right now, if they actually had a 16-team playoff format, your 76ers would be a 12 seed, and they would be matched up against the 5 seed Boston Celtics. How would you feel about that first round matchup?
We're going to win.
Oh,
we're going to win. What do you mean? What do you mean? You said it like I was supposed to change my mind or something. Like now we smacked them all year. We win this series, 3-1? They won 1 game, and then we're gonna get some playoffs and lose? No. Playoff basketball is different. Yes, Jason Tatum is Jason Tatum. Kimba is Kimba. I'm not worried about it because we're gonna pound the rock that if we was healthy. So I can't even say that. This is all woulda, coulda, shoulda fairy tale stuff. But if our team is healthy with Joel healthy and Simmons healthy, I like us much better as a playoff team than I do a regular season team. I just think the game is slower. It's a much more physical game, which trends to our direction. I think Boston's a great team, a lot more depth than us, shoot it better than us, but just the physicality and the size, I think, would just be too much for them. I think we'd win. I really do. That's not even biased. That's not even home cooking there. But yeah, that would be a great matchup. I'd love to see it.
That'd be a first round matchup to see, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. On the NBA front, guys, that is all we have. That's all I have on the outline now for you guys, man. I don't know if there's anything Bryce wants to add here to the show, any type of topic you want to discuss, anything new that Bryce is working on, or are we keeping secrets?
Well, first off, we got to touch base on some college basketball at least. I know you've seen it. Because we talked about it. How laughable was that college basketball player bracket that they put out, finding the best college basketball player of all time? How laughable was that? You know my opinion. Take it away on why that was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. I get the update. I look at it. I open my phone. I scroll through, and immediately I'm like, okay, Pistol Pete's not even in the top 2. Okay, cool. Maybe not even in the top 5. I keep looking. I'm like, okay, well, where is Pistol Pete? 13.
He's a 13 seed, bro.
13. Let me tell you about Pistol Pete, man. 44. 44 points a game with no 3-point line. Come on, man. Back where I'm from, we call that a hired gun. That's a hired gun, bro. He's going to come in and he's going to get you buckets. If anything, this man's going to get you. But his name is Pistol Pete, bro. Pistol Pete. 44. All-time leading scorer in all of college basketball, bro. And it's not even close. People aren't even close. It's not even close.
It's not even close. And that's without the 3-point line. And it's not even close. It's still not close. And I think I even read something that said if Pistol Pete would have played, more games, such as like prolific players like Hansbrough played 4 years, made it deep into the tournament all 4 years. If Pistol Pete would have done that, he could have realistically scored close to 6,000 points in his career. And to put that in perspective, no player has over 3,300 points other than Pistol Pete. How is this guy a 13 seed? How is he not the best player of college basketball of all time? I don't know. The handles that he had, bro, forget the scoring. The handles he had, you've seen his passes.
Oh, man. Look, my name is Derek Dimes. Pistol Pete was dropping dimes, bro. Pistol Pete was dropping dimes. Once I saw that, no lie, I saw that, I turned it off. I'm like, oh, this clearly ESPN is on one of these little things now where they're just trying to rile people up. You're trying to start
Clicking
conversations.
for views.
You're looking for reviews. You're looking for people to comment because we don't have sports. So you're looking for people to comment and say something negative, and you're going to get it because that was one of the worst brackets I've seen, man. There was a lot of stuff wrong, but that was the number one blaring thing that I saw. I also talked about Len Bias a little bit. I thought Len was way low.
Way undervalued.
Way undervalued. Len Bias, man, we were talking about Len Bias. We wasn't talking about Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? We was not talking about Michael Jordan. We was talking about Len Bias when he came out. Walking bucket getter, man. And it's I don't know. Some of these
there were just so many players disrespected. I mean, Grant Hill is a 7 seed. I think Grant Hill, arguably, you could argue that Grant Hill was probably the best college basketball player in the entire 90s.
Yeah.
And I can't stand Duke. I'm just telling you like it is. That dude was phenomenal. Who's your top 3 overall best college basketball players of all time?
Oh gosh,
putting you on the spot. We didn't even put this in the outline.
No. This is what we're going to do on the spot. No, we got to do this then. If we're going to do this, we have to say in our lifetime. To say that I've seen in my lifetime, the best college players I've seen. That is tough, bro. That's tough. Because there's a lot of smoke. We've seen a lot of smoke in our day. I'm 33 years old. I've seen a lot of heat. Like what Steph Curry did was incredible. What Jimmy Fredette did was incredible. What JJ Redick did was incredible. You know what I mean? And that's like what Melo did. Like to me, Melo is the top 3 player I've ever seen in college, bro. He came in and got a chip and rolled out and was giving straight buckets, double doubles, bro. Double doubles, hitting threes, getting led back to the basket, whatever you wanted. Melo was giving it to you. That Syracuse team was real good.
I think if you put it that way, the best college basketball player in my lifetime that I've seen with my own eyes. I'm 30. Melo. Got to be number 1.
Dude, he's up there. And that was so this to me, this bracket isn't that like I can say stuff, but I only seen tape of Pistol Pete. I only seen tape of like Shaq. I only seen tape of a little bit of Sue Bird. Like some of them, I only seen tape of them. Like I seen Breonna Stewart, bro. That's 4 straight Final Fours. I couldn't argue that she was number 1. I'm like, all right, who goes to 4 straight Final Fours and gets all these national championships, 2 or 3 time National Player of the Year? How do you argue that not being? They got to be number 1. But as far as a basketball player in my lifetime, Melo in college in my lifetime he's for sure top 3. He might be number 1. After that, it's tough, man. Like I said, who you got in your top 3? You got 3 off the top. That's tough. That's tough, man.
I'll rattle off 3 real quick. Melo. I hate to say it. Shane Battier.
Ooh.
I think that guy.
He was a winner. That team was loaded. That team was loaded.
They were. But for what that guy did for that program, the deep runs they made year in and year out, cut down the nets. You got to put Battier in there. I want to say Kevin Durant.
I can't give it to him.
But I can't. Just like you, I can't.
I like it, but I can't give it to him. That's what I mean. It's tough to me because you can't, like, it's hard for me to put in 1-year guys. So Melo was cool because he's a 1-year guy, but he got a chip off that one.
He won it. Yeah, I don't think you could be a top 3 guy if you didn't cut down the nets at least once in your career.
See, I agree. So that changes things.
It changes a lot.
Like you would take Shane Battier over Jay Williams? Jay Williams was crazy, bro. He was doing everything, bro. He was doing had the handles, he had the jumper. If he had a motorcycle accident, I really like to see what he would have did in the NBA. He was like D Rose before D Rose, not as athletic because D Rose was crazy athletic, but their game was very, very similar, man. Jay Williams was tough, man.
I don't know. I don't even know if I can do that.
I told you, it's too many.
Chris Paul was nasty at Wake Forest.
So was Duncan, though. Duncan was a beast. Yeah, you know what I mean? We forgot all about Timmy D. There's a lot of great players that came out in our era, man.
Antoine Jameson was probably one of the best, but he didn't win one. So I can't even by what I just said, I can't even include Antoine Jameson in there.
Yo, I know people don't like that, but Jimmer's up there for me, man. Because what Jimmer did, people forget how good Jimmer was. Jimmer averaged almost 30 his senior year, bro. He averaged almost 29 points a game. Like, it's like similar to Marcus Howard, but he was bigger. And Marcus Howard wasn't winning games. Like, this dude, they went Sweet 16, I think, that year. And BYU, that's a mid-major compared to the Kansases and Dukes, you know what I mean? And he did it when BYU was just kind of, on the up and up. Now we look at BYU as a staple program, but that wasn't the case back in the day.
No, not at all. By that standard, though, how about Gordon Hayward and Butler?
Yeah, they made and they should have won it. Yeah, that one. He's the one that shot at the buzzer, right? And they missed.
Yep. Crazy.
Yeah, so
crazy.
We can.
All right, let's come up with this. We'll make a list and we'll talk about that next time because I got to talk some college basketball or else I just don't feel like I'm living.
All right, I'm down with that. We'll do this. We'll do 2 lists. Give me in your lifetime. We'll give your top 10 NBA in your lifetime. Your top 10 NBA and give me your top 10 college, and then we'll discuss it on the next podcast along with some new material. But we'll drop our list. We'll have new material. We'll have new topics, and we'll try to get some folks involved. If you guys are involved, you're watching, let me know. Break down your list. Give me your top 10 you've seen in your lifetime, college and NBA, and we'll keep it there, and we'll keep that door open and try to keep things moving in that direction. Does that sound like a plan or what?
Sounds like a plan. Also, drop a comment and let me know or let us know of any good shows or movies that we could possibly watch during this quarantine lockdown, whatever we're doing with our time. And I'm gonna watch that what is it called? The Tiger King?
Tiger King, bro.
I watched the first episode. That show was crazy. I'm probably gonna binge watch some of it tonight.
I'm telling you, bro. We only watched 1, and we watched 2, and we watched 3, and I was like, let's just watch them all. We binge watched it, and I don't regret it. It was great. I think it's number 1 right now. Netflix has like the rankings top 10. I think they're ranked 1. It's 1 in the USA right now, like trending show. So if you haven't watched, watch it.
All right, I'm gonna check it out.
But guys, that's all we have for you here. Super excited to be back. Super excited to get some new content out there. Let us know some movies, some shows to watch. Drop it down below. If you have a top 10 list, NBA, college, drop it down below. Let's get the comment section rolling. Follow us on Twitter if you haven't done so. Mine is at Derek Dimes.
Mine's at GhostPicksBryce.
Yeah, so follow us. We'll have some content there as well. We'll do a little bit of talking about some normal everyday life things. Also, check out the guys. I know that Benny's been doing some soccer and cage fighting. Check out Jimmy's been doing some hockey, I believe, over in Russia. So check those guys out. Make sure you subscribe. They're still working hard daily as I am still taking some time off, and I don't dabble in those things, but dying for the other sports to come back here in America. But follow my other brothers, the Ghost Picks ATS guys. Follow us if you haven't done so on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, whatever the case may be. And last but not least, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful night. Bryce, do you have anything to add before I take us out of here?
Take us home, brother.
All right, guys. It is Bryce and Derek, Dimes with Ghost Picks ATS, guys. 3 G's and Ghosts is how we roll here. As always, G times 3 is how I personally say it, guys. God bless, good luck, and continue to grind on.